Welcome back to Crossroads. I'm Debbie with Mystery Quilts Anonymous, and we are going to be working on Clue 2 today. This is our third YouTube video for this, and we're on this quilt. We're going start to finish with a YouTube tutorial so that you can learn my tricks and tips all the way through. So for Clue 1, we made our half square triangles and we cut out some 2.5-inch squares. So, and now for that's Clue 1. Clue 2, we are going to be cutting some, what are they, 4.5-inch squares from fabric 3, and we're going to be making what I call kind of like an envelope block. If you kind of look at it, you know, if it had a little flip thing, it might look like an envelope. So I'm going to call this an envelope block. So this is the one I'm going to show you. We are going to take, let's take those medium ones first because we cut those on one diagonal. So we're going to use my handy dandy spinny one. I don't know if you have a handy dandy spinny one. It sits like a kind of like a lazy Susan, and it spins around on itself. And that makes it really easy. You don't need that so much when you're only cutting on one diagonal, but you'll see when we cut on 2 diagonals, it's really helpful. Here we go. I'm going to cut all 4 of these at once. Okay, cutting on one diagonal is quite easy. We're just going to line up our ruler from corner to corner, right on that corner, right on this corner, holding down our ruler and cutting all 4 of them in half. Okay, so that's this side. Now, these, we're going to be sewing these together first. So I am actually going to lay these right sides together. So I have fabric 3 in my background. Laying these on top of each other. And layer 3, fabric 3 in my background, laying these right on top of each other. And this is where the handy dandy spinny one comes in really handy. There we go, that's better. Okay, we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to go one diagonal. So we're going to go corner to corner. Just like that. Spin and go corner to corner again. I don't know if you can see that cut line in there, but this way my fabric doesn't move. And I don't have to move and try to do it backwards. I just do exactly the same thing again. And I've got my 4 pieces. All right, so when I tell you to put this through the sewing machine, we're going to start at the 90-degree angle, which is this angle right here. And I tell you to keep your background fabric on the top. So I'm going to layer these all like this so that when I get to the machine, they're all ready to sew for me. Okay, I'm going to grab everything and we'll move to the sewing machine. Grab those top 2. Remember, starting at the 90-degree angle. I'm just going to sew 2 for now so you can see what I'm doing. Right, I don't know if you can see here. You can see my dirty foot. I'm going to lift my foot up and you're going to see this thingy here. This is my 1/4-inch foot. All 1/4-inch foots are different, but that's how I slide mine through. My fabric just goes through right there. So this is the way I keep my 1/4-inch, the way I need it. Okay. I'm going to put in a... Okay, now I like to dog ear when I cut them apart. So I'm just going to dog ear these. So it's already done. And we'll move to the iron. In the past, a lot of you have asked what I have on my ironing board. This is a wool pressing mat. It's 100% wool. You can see its thickness here. And I don't know what it is. I think it absorbs the steam from the iron, or maybe the heat from the iron, so it's like ironing from both sides. It's quite amazing. I just got these on Amazon. I don't know where else you can get them. But I also wanted to show you my handy dandy little quilter's clapper. For those of you in Australia and New Zealand, the Fat Beagle is where I got this. He is a kid who he just makes them. He gets the piece of wood and he hand makes them. There are two different woods here. I know you could probably see that. This one's heavier, so it's not my favorite. This one is the lightest, and it's my favorite. So back to this, I'm going to iron to the darker fabric, which happens to be my medium. Okay. Show you how that clapper works. Okay, I'm going to lay that on there and then put that clapper right on there. Once that clapper comes off, I've got the world's flattest seam. You can even see the difference with the clapper and no clapper. I can see the difference. I don't know if you can. Okay, back to the sewing machine. We're going to finish this block. All right, I asked you to put the background on the top for a reason, because we want our block to look like this. Had we put the other color on top, our fabric 3 would be out here, and that's not what we want. We need our background out there. So that's why I had you do that in a specific way. So now we're going to put these together. Remember, you are sewing on the bias, so don't stretch. Just feed it through and let your machine do the work. I'm going to pull this one just a little bit so you can see what I mean by don't stretch. Just let your machine do the work. Okay? When I get this started in here, the machine can just do the work, but watch. I can stretch this a considerable distance. So you need to be really careful because both of these are on the bias. Okay, just let your machine do the work. One more time through the machine. There we go. All right, again, I like to dog ear when I cut it out. Saves a step along the way. It might take me a little longer to cut them apart, but then I don't have to go back and do it again. Okay, one more trip to the iron and we're done. This is an especially handy place to use your clapper because we've got 3 pieces of fabric together, so you know that right there, there's going to be a bit of bulk. So again, we're going to press it away and throw that clapper on to make it flat. Pressing it toward the darker. Okay, so it's away from your other one. Okay. So when it's finished, we have a beautiful little envelope. This envelope is going to measure 4.5 inches now. If it doesn't, you're going to need to cut it down. Thanks. Have a great day, guys.